Tuklas is a platform that puts together all of the library's existing local database sources of books and electronic information materials to offer an all-in-one search solution to users. As a successor to iLib, this session will give a glimpse into the new research platform of the university with its brand new features. So for this session, we have two presenters. Our first speaker is currently a reference and marketing librarian at the University Library, the University of the Philippines, Diliman, with a half-decade experience in information literacy, library marketing, and promotion. He has an interest in digital libraries and a research background on LIS education. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Christopherson, Fredeluces, while our next speaker is a graduate of Library and Information Science from the UP Diliman School of Library and Information Studies. Before working at the main library, she worked as an information specialist and trade and industry development analyst at the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism and Department of Trade and Industry, respectively. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in educational psychology at the UP College of Education and is interested in library management, reference services, archival preservation, and learning theories, particularly social justice and democracy in education. Please welcome Ms. Aiza May V. Palaya.
Hi, hello, I'm going to start my video. So from video mode into, there you go. All right. From host mode into presenter mode. Hello, good afternoon. Good morning, rather. Okay. I'm Toff. You can call me Toff. Okay. So I'm one of the reference librarians at the University Library Diliman. So thank you for joining us for today's session, and I hope that I could see your names on the attendees list on later sessions. So today, we're going to launch something. We're going to launch something that would make your searching experience redefined or refined. Okay, and this would be possible with Tuklas, our new web scale discovery service. Okay. So here's our agenda for this morning. So it will be divided into three parts. First is we have to expound on a web scale discovery service. Why is it? No, and what's the big deal on this? Then we're going to introduce the platform to you, and on the latter part, we're going to demonstrate how you can use it. So I'm going to cover the first two parts. Then on the last part, Miss Aiza will take over. Okay, so I hope that everyone can hear me clearly. Okay. So if you have questions, just drop them into the Q&A box, okay, and we're going to try to answer them as long as our time allows. Okay. So let's move on. Hello. So the term web scale discovery service would cover would be in part about scalability of systems, and on the other hand, the emerging technology of library discovery services. So let's begin first with the discovery service. This system, this kind of library system has emerged in the last 2 decades. Okay, so you might encounter this, especially for Diliman and LB, Los Baños people, because these two institutions are subscribed to EBSCO Discovery Service. So what does it do? It indexes all the available resources, you know, all articles, journal articles, archival records, ebooks, so on and so forth, into a single search platform. Then, what we do with what we're going to introduce this morning is that we made it web scale. So scalability is like the ability to expand, okay, expand your business or your systems with flexibility and with agility. Okay, so so the intent is a library discovery service that would expand, okay, from one system to another. So in our case, no, it can be in Diliman, but it can also be in the whole UP system, and it can be implemented in the general public or the World Wide Web. Okay, so that's what scalability means. And this is the according to an article on Network World in 2017, it will be web scale would be the future. So scalability would not be only be applied to the tech giants, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, so on and so forth. No, it will be implemented in smaller enterprises, in smaller organizations, in smaller businesses. So this is one of the best example. Okay, and here we are. Enter to class. So this is based on Viewfind, which is a open source discovery system developed in the States. You know, and because it is open source, we can, everyone can modify the code and enhance it to cater the changing research needs and information seeking behavior of the community it will be serving. So in our case, it's the whole UP community. And okay, so this is developed by and Tuklas is developed by a librarian. Okay? And not just your librarian, it's the incumbent university librarian of UP Diliman. So it's Professor Chito Angeles, who spoke with us earlier. So he developed this, and then with together with his team, his IT team, and other staff from the main library. So yeah, so there you go. Okay, first, it is compliant with the Open Archives Initiative protocol for metadata harvesting. So this is now the future of cataloging classification. So, cataloging and metadata, okay, are synonymous. Okay, so metadata means data about data. So it somewhat it is bibliographic information. It is details about, for example, a song, a person. So and this protocol would make metadata sharing more flexible, easier, so that we can share our resources, so that catalogs uh, can easily be enhanced, no? As with our use case for today. And Tuklas is a single search platform. So we can find your books, not just books rather, but also thesis and dissertations, newspapers and magazines, archival documents, and academic journals. Okay? So it is a complete searching experience. So the ultimate goal of Tuklas, okay, is for us to be a gateway uh, for searching across millions of print and electronic resources available in different libraries of the UP system. Okay. So but for now, what's accessible is the iLib, the content from the UP Diliman iLib, the index to Philippine periodicals, and the index to Philippine newspapers. So in the future, all other library systems in UP would be integrated in the Tuklas Discovery Service. Okay, so that's really exciting for the whole UP community. So here are some features. First, we have, uh, of course, the Google-like basic search. Okay, and it is enhanced by what we call search suggestions. So when you type a keyword, it will give you suggestions. Okay, so as easy as that. Also, for those who want to dig deeper, we also have the advanced search. And these search mechanisms have support for operators such as Boolean, fuzzy search, range search, and wildcard search. Okay, and if you're using the same browser for a long period of time, you can also see your search history. So you can go back on what you have searched so far. Okay. So after searching, we can now discover, no? And with the search results, we can manipulate the search results with faceted search. So with faceted search, you can narrow down search results by author, by type of material, or by year, and by other things, by other categories, okay, by subject. Then we can give you full, it can give you links to full text. Okay, so Tuklas is not a full text database, but it will link, but its results might link you to full text content. So it depends if it is this will be available uh, if you have ebook search results or digitized materials as search results. But if there are only physical books, in the results, there's no fret. Okay, don't fret, because you can have book previews using Google Books, Open Library, and Happy Trust. Okay, so these systems gives a preview of the books available in the library. And of course, uh, as a integrated library system as well, you can see the availability of an item. So if you can borrow it, or you have to wait for it to be borrowed, or if if a full text is available somewhere on the web. And more of discovering. Okay, besides being a search platform, you can also browse by serendipity. Okay, you can browse by the Library of Congress Plus, which is the classification system used by the by the UP libraries. Okay, to organize our collection of print materials by format, by database, by subject, or by author. And there's another feature which we call channels, which are curations of resources, which are organized by categories. It may be by topic, by author, or by resource type. And after you discover, uh, Tuklas can aid you in creation of your research, of your endeavors, of your academic work. So you can create bibliographic lists with book bag, and with this list, you can email them or print. Okay. Then you can also generate citations in APA, in MLA, and in Chicago. Okay. And we can also export this record to reference manager. So so far the available platforms are EndNote, RIS, and uh, uh, and others. Okay. So some of the questions that you might be asking later on. How is this Tuklas different from the iLib? First, well, with the iLib, we can only search the print the print collection. Okay, the print collection available in a specific constituent university. So iLib.upd for UP Diliman, iLib.uplb.edu.ph for UPLB, iLib.upou.edu.ph for UP Open University, and so on and so forth. So that's really limiting, and you have to go to other databases just for you to supplement your search. But with Tuklas, it indexes all local databases. Okay, but currently it is limited to Diliman hosted databases as well as electronic resources collection, and it allows simultaneous search throughout all the databases that have been integrated into Tuklas. Okay, so that's a very exciting development out there. Now, can I reserve books online through Tuklas? Okay, so not yet, okay, but it will be in the future versions. Is Tuklas safe and secured? Yes, it is. At the data is transmitted through the secured hypertext transport protocol. Okay, so that's the gold standard for secured internet connection, internet transmission. So that means that data is encrypted from your computer to our servers. Okay. Is it available off campus? Of course. That's why you can join us testing uh, this platform later on. Okay, so it is available to the general public as well as to the UP community. Do I need to log in to use all features? So you don't need to. Okay. And all special features are available, are enabled. And there's no login option. Okay. Now, a privacy question. Why do we serve cookies? Okay. So we use this so that you can save, so that the sessions are your browsing session is managed. So what includes there are your language, your search history. But if you close your browser, it will be erased. The contents of your book bags and any login information when we enable the login feature. However, we do not collect personal information through the website. So, for example, yung name nyo, email address, we have no way to collect them. Okay? So, search, discover, create. Search, discover, create. That's what we can do with Tuklas. And with this, the QR code of for the platform is flash on your screens. Please, if you have a spare phone with you, a spare smartphone with you, please scan the QR code so you can join us in the demonstration of the class. Okay. Or for others, you can just type ds.mainlive.upd.edu.ph for your for searching for your demonstration today. And with this, I would like to to transfer or to I would like Miss Aiza to take on the spotlight on demonstrating on how to use Tuklas. Thank you very much and good morning. Okay.
Ayun. Salamat to, that was a very quick presentation of the Tuklas platform. No? Una po, maraming salamat. Good morning to everyone who is in this webinar session. We're familiar with some of those who are attending today because they are, of course, they are our faculty, and they would normally or usually communicate with us requesting for resources or requesting for library orientations for their students. So I can see some names na madalas po namin makita sa aming emails. No? So thank you for coming today and for taking interest in our services. No? We would also like to thank our faculty from different CUs for being with us this morning. No? If you have questions about the platform, please feel free to put your questions or type in your questions in the Q&A chat box. And Sir Chito is still with us. No? As mentioned by Toph earlier, he is the developer of Tuklas. So if you have questions that we probably or might not be able to suffice no, na sagutin, si Sir Chito po ay nandito para sagutin yung mga tanong na yan. I prepared a quick presentation, but I think Toph was able to cover pretty much everything that needs to be covered. So let's proceed. Let's go straight to the demonstration of Tuklas. So can I ask for my screen share to be enabled? Toph? Ayun. So, yeah, let me just enable my screen share. There. So this is Tuklas. Nakikita niyo po ba siya? I hope you're all able to see it, no? So when you're visiting or when you are trying to look for resources or when you want to look for materials available in your collection, kaya lang sa ngayon kasi UP Diliman collection pa lang po yung mga nandito. But if you're interested to know what we have in the UP Diliman libraries, this is our newest platform. So this is Tuklas, search, discover, create. Just remember the URL ds.mainlib.upd.edu.ph. So, ito po yung una nyong makikita, no? Ito yung interface niya. This was designed by Toph, no? And itong makikita nyo dito na building, this is reminiscent or this is like the Gonzales Hall or the UP Main Library, no? And then this is the oblation, no? Oh, by the way, the original oblation is in the nasa pag-iingat ng University Archives, no? So nasa 3rd floor siya, yun yung original oblation. This magnifying glass here has baybayin letters, no? Na naka-inscribe, and this inscription means Tuklas or to discover. So lagi tayong fan, I guess, ng malinis at saka ng simpleng interface, no? Yun yung pinaka madalas na hinahanap natin sa website, yung hindi kalat-kalat, madaling tignan, madaling hanapin. So Tuklas is like that, no? If you scroll down below, makikita nyo po yung iba't ibang ways by which you can browse our collection. No, you can browse by classification, browse by format, browse by database. Of course, if you will browse by classification and are familiar with the Library of Congress classification, especially our librarian faculty, no, from the UPSLIS, for sure familiar sila dyan, no? Ang Library of Congress classification po kasi is simple. It's from A to Z. No, yung arrangement niyan. Kaya yung mga libro natin sa library, they are arranged according to the Library of Congress classification. So, kapag nag-browse ka by classification, you can expect that your main source or the database that you will be using or accessing is the Union Catalog. No? Kasi yung mga libro natin arranged according to that. If you're going to browse by format, syempre iba-iba yung formats or yung iba-iba yung type of materials that we have in the collection. No? So halimbawa, kung article yan, ang main source mo yan is either the IPN or the Union Catalog. Kung libro naman, obviously, yung iLib. Kasi yung iLib or yung Union Catalog lang ang may laman na mga libro. And so on. So again, it depends on the format. And then finally, if you browse by database, it will depend on the database that you will choose. So kung mga newspapers, you'll probably want to go to IPN. For magazines, you would probably want to visit ITT. And then for books, iLib. Nabanggit din ito kanina that we have links to full text materials no, or full text copies of halimbawa articles no in PDF format. So pwede nating makita yan later. Also, Toph mentioned the two types of searches, no, basic and advanced. We all know naman that the main difference between the two is just the ability to add more details to your search. So in advanced search, you can be more specific with your search. Whereas in basic search, you can simply type in halimbawa a subject term, if you know the title of the material, if you know the author of the book, that's also going to be useful. So let's try accessing it. No, let's try uh, using the basic search function. The thing about Tuklas is that it's intuitive. No, I guess that's a good adjective to describe it because it kind of thinks in advance. It thinks in advance and it is able to sort of read your mind, no? Parang nagkakaroon na siya ng idea kung ano yung hahanapin mo or ano yung gusto mong makita. Halimbawa, if you're going to look for a material on philosophy of education, yan. Habang nagte-type ka, nakikita mo lumalabas na rin yung mga materials na related to that search, no? So parang nag-iisip na siya for you. Pwedeng yung mismong title, pwedeng yung mga related terms na nandun sa title na yon, no? So pwede mo siyang makita. Let's type in philosophy of education and then click find. So yan, iloload niya lahat ng pwede mong makita na related na materials on philosophy of education. In this particular search, it says we have 1,416 na related na entries, no? And then on the left portion of your screen, makikita niyo po yung narrow search. So ito yung sinabi ni Sir Chito kanina na faceted browsing or faceted search, no? You're able to narrow down your results, you're able to refine your results para mas maging madali sa'yo na maghanap, no? So for this particular topic, no, meron tayong sources from the Union Catalog, the IPP, and the IPN. So ibig sabihin, itong tatlong databases natin, meron silang content or entry na related dun sa search term na ginamit ko. And then if you want to be more specific, you can choose a specific library where you want to search. No, meron tayo from the College of Education, no, main library, social sciences, and so on. You can click more to see how many libraries or what other libraries have a collection related to your search. No, yan. Halimbawa, you want to go to or you want to check the College of Education, no? Yan. Makikita niyo po lahat ng results related to the term that you use. So there are 753 materials dun sa topic na yon in the College of Education. So makikita nyo rin, papakita niya din sa inyo kung anong klaseng materials siya. If it's a thesis or a book, no, or date of publication. Further down, you will see year of publication. What's good about this is that you can limit your search to, for example, yung latest materials, no? Halimbawa, you want to look for materials published in the last, let's say, 5 years, no? Because when we do research, oftentimes we are required to use resources that were published in the last 5 years or during the last 5 years, no? So yeah, mas ninarrow down niya yung search. And then you can also limit your search again by classification. Again, this is according to the Library of Congress, no? So yeah, halimbawa, education. As you go along in your narrowing your searches, no, makikita nyo napakaunti din ng pakaunti yung results na nilalabas niya. So because it's becoming more and more specific. So ganon siya nagfa-function. And then you can be specific as to the author of the book or the material that you want to read. Yan, marami tayong authors dyan na naka-list lahat ng merong works on that particular subject. Yan. Halimbawa dito, si Dr. Pedrejita, who's also one of the faculty members of the UP College of Education. If you want to limit the format, yan, pwedeng libro or thesis, and then language, no? So, yun. It helps when you use the faceted search option, kasi um, on the onset, at the onset, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you, halimbawa, you know that there's a book in this subject, but you don't know the title or the author, it helps when you have this narrow search option or this narrow search feature to extract all possible related resources. So, halimbawa, kung na-limit mo na dyan, na-limit mo na yung sources mo, nagamit mo na yung narrow search, no? Makikita mo halimbawa dito, isa na lang yung libro na related dun sa search mo. So, na-narrow down yan. Halimbawa, you're interested, no? Let's just say you're interested in this particular book, no? Pwede mo na siyang i-click, pwede mong tignan yung details niya, no? It has the name of the author, of course, no? In this case, Dr. Pedrejita is the dissertation advisor. And sa atin kasi, sa cataloging natin, no, we include the name of the advisor, the thesis advisor, as another author. No? Ngayon, ganun na yung cataloging natin. It has other information that you might find useful, katulad ng subject terms. No? Ito, very useful, especially if you want to look for related sources. When you click on any of the subject terms, so it will direct you or redirect you to other entries na related dun sa inyong search. Yun yung binanggit nito kanina na discover, no? You are able to discover other searches or other resources other than what you are looking for. No, it helps you. Ang function kasi din ng iLib or ng Union Catalog is location and co-location, di ba? Pag inisip mo siya, in the physical sense, ganun din yung arrangement ng mga libro natin, no? Location and co-location. So, kung saan nakalagay yung libro, highly likely yung mga katabi niyang mga libro are related. No? Kasi ganun yung arrangement niya. So, that's also how the Tuklas Discovery Service works. If you're familiar with discovery service, such as yung EDS or EBSCO Discovery Service, no? You will notice the similarities in terms of the features and the functions. Kasi nga, that's basically how it works. Okay? So, yan. Halimbawa, we have here the thesis, no? And you want to know where it's located. Although, we already know, kasi kanina nakita naman natin, doon naman talaga natin siya pinili, no? From the College of Education. But at least you will know here, ano yung call number niya. So that when you go to the College of Education library, makikita mo agad kung saan located yung libro. Very useful in locating a particular material. So that's how simple it is to search using Tuklas. Meron tayo, like we mentioned earlier, no, we have the advanced search feature. No, let's click on that. Ayan. So yun, dinadagdagan niya lang yung mga search field na pwede mong gamitin if you want to be more specific about your search. If you want to search by format, by location, yan yung mga binibigay niya sa iyo na options, no? So ganun din yun. I'm sure you'll have more time to research or you'll have more time to try it for yourself later, no? Yung ating advanced and basic search options. There is, when you go down, there's a search history option here, or there's a search history feature. I think Toff mentioned earlier that if you've been using a particular browser for consistently, no, eventually naiipon niya yung mga search history mo or yung mga search na ginawa mo in that particular in Tuklas, no? So halimbawa dito yung recent searches ko, because I've been checking Tuklas from time to time for this presentation, for this demo, no? So yan, paulit-ulit ko din yan mga tinitignan. So, yan, makikita mo yung mga huli mong search. Kasi sometimes, there's this weird instance wherein nahanap mo yung libro the first time and then nung sumunod, hindi mo na siya makita. So, it's useful to use the search history feature para mahanap mo ulit yung libro. Although, medyo mahirap siguro yun kung automatically nagbubura yung computer mo ng data. So, you can also browse by catalog. No? Again, kapag by call number, naka-arrange din siya by classification, by the Library of Congress classification. If you want to search by author, you can also do that. No? Yung authors natin dito arranged alphabetically yung kanilang mga pangalan. And makikita mo din kung ilan yung mga libro or materials na sila ang may akda. So, mas madaling maghanap. No? Halimbawa, yun nga, like I said, no, kung halimbawa author lang yung alam mo na information about that particular material and you don't know the title, then you can search by author. And naka-list down naman lahat ng pangalan ng mga authors ng mga collection dito sa atin sa UP Diliman. Yan. And then by topic, you can also search alphabetically. So pag kinlik mo yung letter, yan, lalabas lahat ng topics under that letter. So, halimbawa sa ABS-CBN, we have 285 records na about, or perhaps has a mention of ABS-CBN, for example. A portion, academic libraries, academic writing, and stuff like that. So, arranged yan alphabetically. So, searching is easier this way. No? Yeah, like we said, no, it's a smart way to search. You can access what you want when you need it. So those are some of the ways by which you can search. Going back, let's go back to our search, no? Halimbawa, I think also Toph mentioned this earlier, yung tinatawag nating explore channels. No? Dito sa baba, under discover more, we have the explore channels. And then, this is a good way to look for related sources din. Kasi, it links all materials related to a certain topic. No? So, specialized yung topics niya. Halimbawa, on history, we have books. Regardless of format, we have a collection of books. It may be an article or a conference proceeding or a journal, no? On the history, on the topic history. So, you can add more channels. If you scroll down, marami ka pang makikitang ibang channels. Pwedeng by author, and then by format, no? So, pwedeng books, articles, ganyan. And then, if you want to add more channels, meron ding option. So, yan. Kung by topic yung gusto mo, yan. Pwede kang mag-add. Halimbawa, economic conditions. So, pag kinlik mo yan, ma-add yung specialized topic on economic conditions and lahat ng related na materials doon ay lalabas. Diba? So, mas madali ding maghanap ng related sources. Yun. So, that's for channels. Okay? Ayun. And then, new items, I think this is for new materials that are being added to the database. So, you can check that out for looking for new materials na nadagdag doon sa iLib. I think this is real time naman pag dinadagdag ng ating mga cataloger, no, ng ating mga librarian, halimbawa sa unit, nadadagdag din siya dito right away. Then, you have, yeah, that's for discover more. And then for need help, no, we have search tips. I think Toph also mentioned earlier, no, about wildcard searches, proximity, fuzzy searches. For better understanding, meron tayong examples dun sa sa website mismo or dun sa platform mismo kung paano mo siya gagamitin. Halimbawa, ang wildcard, if you're searching for a term or searching for resources on women or woman, no, both those terms ay acceptable para sa iyo na gamitin, then you can replace the word E or A with a question mark. And then when you do that, lahat ng resources na merong term na women or woman ay lalabas. Okay, so it makes your search mas malawak, no, kaya siya wildcard. Mas marami kang makukuha. For fuzzy searches, ganun din, no, gamitin mo yung tilde symbol. Usually, that's for variant spellings ng searches. And then, yung proximity, usually it's for yung distance ng words. Distance ng dalawang keywords. Kung gaano mo gustong kalapit sila sa isa't isa. So, depende. Pwede mo rin siyang gamitin. Ayan. And then, you can use boosting a term. No? Yung ano bang tawag dun sa symbol na yon, so gamitin mo siya para yung search mo mas marami on that particular word. No? So itatabi mo siya dun sa word na yon. And then Boolean is very common to all of us. Alam natin yan how to use and or, no, and or not. Yan. So we know how to use all of those. Ayan. So if you want, you can also Halimbawa, no, i-try natin yung wildcard search. Halimbawa, yung woman. Pwede natin yung ay, sorry, mali. Wait lang. Yan. Tama ba? Natanggal na. Ayan. So, pwede natin i-click yan. Yan. So, lalabas dyan lahat ng resources on women or yung term na woman, no? Makita nyo, no? Lahat yun. Yan. Dito may woman and dito, yan, women. So, yun. Lalabas niya yun both. Mas marami siyang niloload na resources. And then, it's up to you how you want to refine your results. Again, nandun naman sa left portion ng screen, yung narrow search option or yung faceted search option. So, you can refine your results to be more specific, no? To your liking. So, mas madali siyang i-narrow down. Ayun. Tapos, halimbawa, dito, nakikita mo dito sa taas, no? Dito sa taas na portion. Halimbawa, meron kang libro na napili, itong We Are Allies, for example, itong particular na book na to. So, you click on that. Oh, it's apparently, Manila Bulletin. So, it's an article pala. Yan. So, it's an article on women's rights. Yan. Halimbawa, you want to use this particular material or this particular resource, no? Pwede mo siyang i-email, halimbawa, to your email address. And then, kapag natanggap mo siya sa email address mo, ang makikita mo is the link to that particular material. So that when you click on it, diretso ka na makikita mo or diretso mo nang makikita yung entry, hindi mo na kailangan mag-search ulit. Ayun. You can also cite it, no? The platform generates citations, but there's a disclaimer dito sa bandang baba, or may warning na sinasabi, no? Na they may not always be 100% accurate. So that means, of course, it's on you to work on the citations, no? To correct it, to check whether it's the correct format or it's the correct way of citing the source or citing a source. So, tatlo yung basic citations na binibigay niya, APA, Chicago, and MLA, because these are also the three most used or commonly used citations. So, pwede siyang i-cite. Okay? And then, nabanggit din ito kanina to, no, yung export records. Basically, yung entry, if you want to include it in your research, you want to make a reference list or a bibliography, you can also do that easily, no? Reference and note and BibTeX, I believe, are all reference managers or, reference managers. And then, yung mark is cataloging is for cataloging. It's a code for cataloging. So if you want to export the code na ginamit, I guess this is more useful for copy logging na tinatawag or copy cataloging, no? Kung ito ay exact material naman and you want to adopt it, you can also use the mark records. So that's for exporting records. And then you have the add to bag function. This used to be the add to cart function of the iLib. Now it's called the add to bag function. Or add to book bag. Toph already mentioned na walang login feature ngayon, right? But I think in future releases, there's a possibility naman na magkaroon, no? Especially for those na concerned about their records history, what they're borrowing, what they're using, stuff like that. So you can also use that. Okay. So that's for our citation, feature, email, export. Those are some of the interesting features of Tuklas. So yan, ito yung sa book bag natin, di ba? Nakita natin kanina yung in-add natin to. Yan. So if you click on this, bahala ka na kung anong gusto mong gawin. Kung gusto mo i-email, i-export, yan, i-print if you're connected to a printer, or delete. It's good when you're looking for resources to add the materials to your book bag first, and then from then, pwede ka na mag-decide kung ano yung gusto mong i-maintain, ano yung gusto mong i-retain or i-ramin, diba, sa library. So, yun. Okay? So, that's basically, those are the main features of Tuklas. And then, you have Ask a Librarian, but this will redirect you to UP Diliman Facebook page, no? So kung meron kayong katanungan, kung meron kayong katanungan tungkol sa Tuklas or other things that you want to know about our resources, how to access a particular database and stuff like that, no? You can contact us through our Facebook page. We're very active on Facebook. And then for commonly asked questions, some of which Toph already mentioned earlier and already answered earlier, this is an FAQ, and ito yung mga common questions or mga questions that you will probably be asking when using Tuklas. So sinagot na po namin in advance. Pero if you think there are still questions that need to be answered and are not here, of course, we'll be happy to answer them and we'll be happy to include them sa FAQ kung kakailanganin. So that's for our FAQ. And then, yeah. So we also have an overview of Tuklas, what it's about, no? What it is based on, ano yung kanyang features, ano yung kanyang functions, yan. And then we have contact information if you want to visit the website, if you want to visit Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. If you have questions for us, we can also answer your questions. No, meron kaming reference email and then technical support email kung meron kayong katanungan tungkol doon sa Tuklas. So this is just a very rough and quick demo of Tuklas, but we'll be willing to share with you other information that you need or those that we might not be able to cover today. And but that's basically how you use it. That's how you use Tuklas, no? The good thing about it is that you no longer have to go to 3 different databases when accessing Philippine newspapers or the Philippine periodicals or the Union Catalog. It's an all-in-one database where you can find everything that you need or the collection that we have if you're interested to borrow or if you're interested to browse. Yan. Pwede nyo namang nakita po dito. So again, if you have questions, we're open to questions. We have Sir Chito with us to answer also some of the questions. And that ends my quick demonstration.
Okay, so thank you for that very concise and very practical presentation on behalf of SAIS team. Thank you, Aiza and Toph. Okay, so I think we could move now with our question and answer portion. So as you might well see or you have realized, some of the questions have already been answered. So I think you may view those questions as well as their respective answers in your Q&A box. But then again, we still have a couple more, and you can still post or comment if you have further questions. So first off is, I think this is obviously concerning to class. Is there a classification for engineering?
I take that. Okay. Classification for engineering. Okay. Pakita. Share screen lang ako. Okay. Then, wait lang. There you go. Oops. Na-on yung annotation. Okay, so sa Library of Congress classification ang may audio ba ako? Meron.
Yes, Tom.
Ayan. So sa Library of Congress classification, ang engineering ay nasa loob ng class E. Ayan, so lakihan ko lang ng konti yung ano ko para yan. So, nasa class T siya, technology. Okay? And, ayun o, kung papansin niyo, yung unit library, usually College of Engineering. So, yan. I think TX is, sorry. Shucks, yung cataloging skills ko. Yung hanap tayo para mabalikan ko. No? Puro pala na to. Yun. This is TA, okay? So this one is TA. Alam ko yung TJ, TK, yun, TK more of electronics yun. Okay? Yun, basta, doon siya na nag-revolve sa mga, sa call numbers na yun.
Yeah, and when you search by subject or by classification, it also breaks down the halimbawa T, lahat ng under T, or yan, yung TA, like you said, yun, naka-breakdown naman po siya when you search by classification or by topic.
Materials, environmental aspects. So, yeah.
Or if you want, you can search by location. So, pwede niyong i-search yung College of Engineering so that lahat ng materials na lalabas ay collection po ng College of Engineering.
Okay, so I hope that answers that question. So next off, we have, is there a mobile app for Tuklas? Ayan.
Okay, to answer that question, well, right now, wala po tayong mobile app, but the platform is designed to be responsive. So meaning it can, you can use any platform like a mobile phone or a tablet to view the system or use the system. So mag-a-adjust siya automatically depending on the size of your screen.
Ayun. So thank you for that reply, Sir Chito. And next off, we have another question. So how would students be able to borrow books using Tuklas this coming semester, and what would be the process? Ayun.
I think it was answered earlier. There's a slide. We don't have the online reservation yet, but in the future releases, we will try to incorporate that feature. And of course, for borrowing, you have to go to the specific library where the resource is available. And we will still be using the circulation module for checking out books. But next semester, we will be piloting another new system for circulation and other internal functions. So watch out for that.
Okay, thank you, Sir Chito. Okay, so we have a couple of questions as well in our chat box. So, however, I think this is concerned about our main library operations or policy. So, from Ma'am Maria Lunacleto, so when rather can we reserve books, and do we still follow the 1 month rule or borrowing policy?
Sorry, pa-repeat ng question.
When can we reserve books, or do we still follow the 1 month rule borrowing policy?
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, you can contact directly the specific libraries. And for the 1 month rule, it will still apply. So wala naman po tayong changes, except now that during this pandemic, we have suspended borrowing, and yung returning of books naman, the due dates were adjusted. So wala pong mga overdue books ngayon. So we will move the schedule until such time that mag-normalize yung ating situation. So don't worry about the fines.
Yun. So at least there are no fines with that respect. And so another question is from Ma'am Ancheta. So will there be a rough schedule of other features of Tuklas? So maybe she's pertaining to a certain updates. Will we be posting other remarks as well concerning po dun sa Tuklas natin para sa next semester or the next?
Actually, this first semester is the target implementation of the other system, which is the library services platform, which will be integrated with this discovery service. So another big update on this discovery service, the Tuklas, is that more local databases will be searchable through this platform. So as we have mentioned, the ultimate goal is to be able to search all the collections from the different CU libraries and all the local databases that are either maintained or hosted by the different libraries or accessible within the different CU libraries. We plan to integrate them. So of course, with the provision of the different CU libraries.
Yun. So thank you for that update, Sir Chito. And as well, I guess on our part then, obviously, if there are major or big updates, we will be posting them in our communication channels, obviously. Okay? Okay, let's see if there are any other questions at hand. So, okay, from Ma'am Nancy. So, is there a way to access books if we cannot physically go to the library because of the community quarantine?
I think we have a separate topic for that in another webinar, the local databases and the ebooks.
Yes, so we'll be discussing that further later on. Okay?
So I hope
yeah, yes, Toph.
I hope na naka-register sila for the afternoon session. I think the registration is still open. No, so kung hindi pa kapag-register, so please do. Okay?
Mm-hmm. And also I think a good way to find out about their options is to communicate directly with their library, their unit library, for options that they have regarding access to books or ebooks. So, yeah. Do we have other questions?
Okay, so I guess there are no other questions at hand. Thank you for the reply, Sir Chito, and as well as thank you once again, Aiza and Toph, for the introduction of Tuklas. Okay, so as you'll see in your chat box, we have posted there the link to our feedback form. This is an extra precaution just in case the feedback form, doesn't show after we close the session, because I've mentioned earlier the feedback form should be automatically posted, or at least it would automatically pop up in your web browser. So kindly check our chat box for the feedback form. Okay?
May babatiin tayo ng happy birthday.
Yes, Toph?
Yes.
So, happy birthday to Sir Aaron.
Ayan. Maligayang karoon, Aaron. So, Aaron is part of the information services and instruction team. So, he's one of us. Okay, so I guess that ends our presentation for this morning. We have another one this upcoming afternoon. We hope you'll be there. Please join us. You'll learn a lot. But until then, please stay safe and thank you. Bye-bye.